Alright, it's your boy Toasted. We back with Top Tier Media Live. Man, who do we got at the festival right now?
This is Marvelous Marv.
All right, and you're the owner of FRICKFRACK BLACKJACK.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about the game and what it means to you.
FRICKFRACK BLACKJACK to me is, well, I mean, it's a gambling game for anything but money, but for me, it's I call it like a synchronicity machine. It's something where you have moments that you're trying to create using everyday objects and using those objects that were valueless, and through what I like to call metaphysical recycling, turning those objects into incredibly valuable by experience. And if you can have someone take something away that is imbued with sentimentality, then they get to have this little joy again and again, like a stone skipping on a pond, every time they look at it. And that thing went from something that was in their closet, unloved, uncared for, to something incredibly valuable just through a game.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think that the creation of this game means a lot to other people as well, and you nailed it right on the head for, you know, giving things new life. Can you tell us a little bit about how you created the game?
So I created the game honestly by accident. I was working with a group called the Grand Arctique at Lenia Bottle in 2017, and I got injured. I jumped off a golf cart and had a piece of metal go into my foot, and I couldn't really move around. And they do a Frontierville, it's like a western town, and they have a poker room inside of like a hotel built area. And so I kind of limped over to that, and I wanted to be participatory, so I like started doing, the first night I did a poker game for anything but money. And it was very fun, but poker's really complicated because you have multiple rounds of betting. You have to have a lot of stuff in order to play a poker game. And if you have one thing, you can't play a game of poker. And so over the next day or two, I started doing a blackjack game, and the Grand Arctique calls everything that's bullshit frick. So FRICKFRACK came from that. And so when someone asks me what FRICKFRACK means, it's one word that means bullshit, and the other one's a nonsense word. And that to me kind of encapsulates a lot of it. But basically from coming up from it there, I did it at a couple other events and Burning Man as like a renegade thing. And then I pitched it to Halloween, where I'd done art in the past as an art installation, and did that for the first time. And then over that winter, built a trailer with Cash, and then me and him took that trailer and we drove around the country. We did like 20 music festivals in 2018, and then we were off and running. And then from there have just grown it to 12 different independent little chapters, 4 different large festival touring units, over 100 people working, and millions of endless moments created.
The endless moments created will forever be a thing, and
Yeah.
soon have happened, and more to come for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing to know that you have impacted more people than you could possibly ever know that you've impacted.
What was the most memorable moment at the table for you?
Ever?
Ever.
In any time?
The most memorable,
Ooh, that is a tough one, but the most memorable moment was a very humbling experience that I had when I've had a number of people make fan art, and I had somebody at Loveburn a few years ago make a puppet of myself.
I remember that puppet.
And brought it to me. And when I was having a really hard weekend, I had a friend had passed right before it, and honestly, I had walked away from an installation to go be sad away from it. And when I came back to it, I was pulled by everybody up onto the stage and sat down, and then I had this amazing truly humbling thing of having something presented to me as like I made this because of what you do, and it took me a moment to like really accept that gift, but it was beautiful, and I was very, very appreciative of someone seeing what I do and then wanting to give something to me as me. It's very, you get a lot of um forget the term, imposter syndrome kind of knocks its head a little bit, but I very much, that was an amazing moment.
Can you tell us the lore about the clowns and why they're so
I think it's
significant?
because we go with a circus motif, and that a lot of people, clowns are very trendy right now, trending up. Clowns are trending up, and people like clowns. I think clowns imbue the kind of spirit of this game, that it is silly, but it is also very, it's like silly, but also very true and honest is what clowning is. It's an honest expression in action is kind of what clowning is. And so that is something that I think goes hand in hand with what we do. And also the fact that we go with, I'm very much into circus and carnival and that those kind of themes. The old circus is something that nobody that is going to these events now and our age has ever actually seen. Um, you might see Cirque du Soleil, you might see some small circus. None of us have seen the true Ringling Brothers or Barnum and Bailey circuses. But that's the nostalgia that we're hitting on, and we're hitting on a nostalgia point. That's what a lot of this game is. It's
Right.
hitting on nostalgia points, things that you remember, or have a, a group or almost like hive memory of. And so it's like you're hitting a nostalgia of a thing that you never actually experienced. And that's very weird, but also an esoteric, but very true point in nostalgia then. You like wish that you had been there. And so this is kind of an attempt to create something of a place that we wish we could have been. There's a lot of people that go on this circuit that wishes they could have run away with the circus,
Right.
and kind of do. And so I like to imbue this with that. So yeah, we dig the clowns.
Any knowledge or wisdom you want to give to like you know, future people that want to get into the festival scene and or entrepreneurs themselves?
I like, I have a thing that I like to say to anyone, that is that I wish everyone the true benefit of having nothing to lose when something great or cool comes along. I was in a position when I started doing FRICKFRACK, where I kind of was at the end of doing an art and clothing thing I've been doing for years, and kind of like was spinning my wheels on it. I was really looking for something else to do, and honestly, I was only a few months removed from like living in my car, and I honestly like I just was looking for something, and then this just happened. And had I been with a stable job, had I had a lot of responsibilities, had I had some other things that were like, oh, I'm kind of comfortable right now. I'm not going to just go on the road to do a thing that I don't know if I'm ever going to make money doing. I never would have done it. But I happen to be in a beautiful position where I didn't have anything else to lose, and a beautiful position where I like didn't it was just I had nothing else to say, no reason to say no. Most people can always find a reason to say no to something. That's why you don't move. That's why you don't change your things. You need something to be drastically bad in order to do that. And I happen to be very lucky that I was doing fucking nothing with my life when something cool came around. And then because of that, I was like, this is it. This is it. I'm doing this. I'm doing this now. And I remember telling my friends and all that. And they're like, your card game? And I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get it. And it was something that I was in flow doing, and that it would fit me like a glove. And if you find that thing in your life where you feel in flow, where time disappears while you're doing it, follow that, or at least make enough money so that you can do that in your off time.
That's amazing. I totally agree with that. That's a very solid answer. Last question. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Kermit Jesus?
Oh,
Kermit
I,
Jesus?
I don't really. He has risen. He has risen.
Talk about Well, Marvelous Marvin, the leader of FRICKFRACK BLACKJACK, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you giving life to other festival patrons that you lit behind the table. So, anything else you want to shout out before you let you go, man?
I mean, if this is going out to the people, it takes this is a participatory and interactive art project. It takes everybody bringing in to put in to make this a thing. I like to liken it to there's an old fable about a group, a village having a celebration, and they're all asked to put a cask of wine into this big jug, and then at the ceremony they're going to open it, and that one person's like, well, if I just put a thing of water in, then no one's going to notice. And then when they open the thing, it's all water. And it's if you only put in rocks, then all you got is rocks to play with. But if everyone brings in, puts something cool into the pot, and they actually people buy in, then you have this amazing thing. And it takes everybody else doing it. So anybody who's participated, anyone else who's loved this thing as much as I do, or found love in it, thank you for doing that, because it needs you to make this thing cool, or else we're just playing with a bunch of junk that we found at the flea market.